Hello everyone and welcome to EduTap. So continuing with the success stories of RBI Grade B examination. Today we have with us Miss Shreya Kane. She has cleared the RBI Grade B examination, the results of which were declared just a couple of days back. So Shreya, first of all, welcome to EduTap and heartiest congratulations from the entire team.
Thank you so much, sir.
Can you be a little more loud, Shreya? Your voice is...
Thank you so much, sir. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you so much. So Shreya, we'll start with the educational qualification, then we'll come to different stages of the examination, phase 1, then the phase 2, then the interview, and we'll talk about the entire journey of your preparation for this examination, right? So dear aspirants who are watching this video live, do watch it till the end, because these stories, these success stories, I think are a motivation booster for the future aspirants. Whenever you feel low, whenever you feel like you're not going in the right direction, do come back to our YouTube channel, watch these stories, and I'm sure you'll get something that will give you that, motivation injection for the day that, okay, Shreya ने भी यही किया था, मैं भी यही कर रहा हूँ, कोई बात नहीं, ठीक चल रहा है. जैसे सिद्धार्थ ने भी यही किया था, मैं भी यही कर रहा हूँ, तो ठीक चल रहा है. I'll also be at RBI someday. Right, Shreya?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay, Shreya, let's start with your educational qualification. Please tell us in detail, when did you graduate? What did you graduate in? Please tell me everything.
Okay, sir. So firstly, I did my schooling in Kolkata.
Okay.
After that, for pursuing graduation, I came to Delhi. I took admission in Hindu College, University of Delhi. I did my BCom honors. And after that, I started preparing for UPSC. And also simultaneously, I was doing MCom from Indira Gandhi Open National University.
Okay.
And I gave 2 attempts at UPSC, and RBI was my first serious attempt.
Understood. So this was your first serious attempt, but overall it was your second attempt, right? Understood. So Shreya, this a question that we also get asked very often, I would like to put it to you. When anyone dives into UPSC preparation, is plan B already in the mind when you are preparing for the first attempt, or it comes later on? Like preparing for UPSC, state civil services can be plan B, RBI examination can be plan B, NABARD can be plan B, SSC CGL can be plan B, something else can be plan B. So when you started, was plan B already there, or did it crop up at a later stage?
Honestly, there was no plan B when I started off with UPSC. I was taking it very seriously, and maybe plan B would have been state PCS. Okay. But there was no RBI Grade B or NABARD. I did not even know about these exams when I started UPSC. So later on, with due course of time, I got to know about RBI Grade B exam. I saw the syllabus, I saw the job description, and I thought that this is a very good career option, especially for commerce and economics students. And as a commerce student, I decided to take it up.
Okay. And how, what was that exact moment when you came to know about RBI while studying for economics of UPSC or something else?
So when I was studying for UPSC, economics especially, RBI was everywhere. It was mentioned everywhere. It had a very prominent role to play when it comes to monetary side of economy. So that time I read a lot about RBI. And then later on, I joined Telegram, and there I got to know there's this Grade B exam that graduates can take up. And this is the generalist post. So I thought that I can give it a try. It is definitely a good career option.
Okay, understood. Because this is generally the case, Shreya. When I also appeared for UPSC, I was unaware that now I am running this company, but I myself was unaware that there is something called RBI Grade B. Right, so it is in due course of time, maybe the second year or third year of preparation, that you come to know that RBI bhi hai, NABARD bhi hai, regulatory bodies bhi hai.
So basically, I was preparing for second attempt. Then I got to know about RBI, and due to COVID, it got delayed. Prelims exam of UPSC. So I was like, I will prepare for it now. For prelims, I will appear, but then I will take up RBI Grade B exam more seriously as a career option. So after that, I start preparing.
Understood. ठीक है जी. So you have done your BCom. You are currently pursuing your MCom, and you have given 2 attempts at UPSC Civil Services. Understood. Now, Shreya, let's come to a broad question. I'll not go into the strategy right now. Phase 1, phase 2 interview. How was the journey of RBI preparation? Was it very strenuous? Was it very stressful? Was it enjoyable? Was it interesting? How was the entire journey?
I started preparation in August 2020 for RBI because at that time there was this, notion that it can come in November or December, the prelims RBI. So I was like, I had less time, so I have to prepare thoroughly. I joined Telegram. I joined a lot of groups to get an idea, an overview of what is this exam all about, how do students prepare for it. I even watched many YouTube videos. EduTap also I watched in the starting, I remember. So I used to watch toppers videos and all to get an idea how to go about this preparation. So basically, that time the exam pattern and syllabus was very different from UPSC. UPSC is all descriptive, right? But RBI was more MCQs based, and then more economics, finance, management was involved in RBI. So basically, I had some finance management subjects in college itself, so I was comfortable that I can manage. And economics also, ESI part, because of UPSC, I had some confidence. So I thought that I can manage this exam. So this was not stressful. Basically, yes, a lot of things had to be studied. Lot of MCQs are asked, even data and figures and all. You have to learn a bit. So that was something challenging. Otherwise, it was very much enjoyable. The whole.
Okay, well said. Acha, how did your UPSC background play a role in your RB Grade B journey apart from ESI? Economics, I understand that. Okay, Ramesh Singh, Brunal sir, you must have read. Apart from that, economics.
Economics, UPSC is more analytical in approach, and also it focuses more on current affairs. So that was something that played a very important role in RBI exam as well. So I knew how to, approach the question or current affairs, how to study, what to study in economics. A lot of questions are asked. And so that's how it helped. And yes, definitely, when there was this surprise of changing pattern, changing syllabus, changing pattern, I think, yes, UPSC helped a bit. But nonetheless, I had to practice a lot for RBI Grade B. So 1 month full descriptive studies and 2-3 answers I wrote every single day to, cope with that new syllabus and pattern change.
Understood. Acha, Shreya, again, a question related to UPSC and RBI. Like many students, they tell us, although I don't agree with them, but they tell us that UPSC aspirants have an undue advantage, more so with the descriptive pattern. That acha, UPSC mains answer writing you have already done, blah, blah, blah. So you have an undue advantage when it comes to RB Grade B examination also. I differ because what I actually believe is that in one very sincere or serious UPSC aspirants do answer writing. Most of the people, they do not do answer writing. Right? What is your take?
So basically, yes, even I differ, just like you, that no, there was no unfair or undue advantage given to UPSC aspirants. Basically, see, prelims exam of RBI is something that UPSC candidates are not, attuned to. Like quant you have to do, logical reasoning you have to do, then current affairs also very different from UPSC. UPSC will not ask what is the capital of this country, what is the currency, who inaugurated and all that. But RBI does, and prelims is definitely different from UPSC. In fact, quant and logical reasoning are the most challenging for UPSC candidates, because in UPSC it is only of qualifying nature and it is very basic questions that are asked. But in RBI there will be cutoffs, there will be tough questions in quant LR, and I have seen many people who could not clear because of sectional cutoff thing. So that is definitely a challenge for UPSC people. And then coming to descriptive, I would say, especially for finance and management, most UPSC candidates do not have finance management as their subjects. Even I did not have management per se. I had commerce and accountancy, not management optional. So it was a challenge for me as well to write descriptive answers. And especially UPSC is all about writing answers on paper. Here it was about typing so many words in such less time. That is obviously strenuous for any person, I would say, not just UPSC people. So it's not right to say that this was something easy for UPSC people. No, definitely it was not. So that way, yes, it was challenging. So
understood. Now let's come to the different stages of the examination, Shreya. Let's start with the interview part. So I'll come from interview to phase 2 to phase 1. So interview experience, how was it for you? It was, I think, through virtual conferencing mode this time around. So how did you prepare for the interview? How was the actual interview? What kind of questions were asked? How can one prepare effectively for the interview? Please tell us everything about that.
The interview was a very special stage actually, because this was my very first formal interview.
Okay, of any kind.
Yes, of any kind. I've
Okay.
never appeared for interviews before. This was my very first interview, and to think to give it in RBI itself was a very big thing for me. So
Okay.
yes, when mains marks were declared, I was happy. Then immediately I got nervous, like, how will I manage this interview? Because I've heard that this is very tough. They can ask anything, and I did not know how to handle an interview, right? So yes, mock interviews helped a lot. My first mock interview was at EduTap itself. Two prominent sirs took my interview, one from NABARD and one from RBI. They understood that I was a fresher. I had some problems, like I don't know how to, give an interview or how to speak.
Okay.
So sir helped me a lot. Sir guided me very patiently and all. So that was a thing. And sir, there was one friend. So we both used to discuss a lot of answers for interview. We had many thorough discussions of all kind of questions, be it from my background, of current affairs based, or RBI reports. So that helped me a lot, those discussions. And so coming to the actual interview, it was VC, and basically panel was very cordial, and they focused on my graduation subjects. Like first they asked, what were you doing since graduation? How many attempts? Then that's all. No more grilling on UPSC part. And then they asked me about my graduation subjects. There's this subject, financial accounting, which is mentioned first in my mark sheet actually. So they asked all questions from financial accounting itself. Okay. So basically I knew that graduation subjects will be asked. So I thoroughly prepared for my graduation. All subjects were important for interviews. I had to prepare all.
Understood.
So yes, 4-5 questions from my graduation subject. Then what is financial literacy? What is sustainable development? What do you, speak it in your own words. We don't want bookish answers. That's the thing. So because actually what they want to see, how you produce what you have read, how you think, and how can you present your views and opinions. So that what is sustainable development question was that kind of a question.
Okay.
So yes, so this was the thing, and something related to financial inclusion was also asked. That's all I think from interview side.
Okay, so how long was the interview in total? How many minutes?
12-13 minutes.
25-30 minutes.
12-13 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. And how did you prepare for the interview apart from the graduation subjects that you could have guessed that, okay, my subjects are important for RBI point of view, so I should brush up. What apart from the graduation subjects did you prepare for the interview?
Apart from graduation, I read current affairs thoroughly.
Actually, your voice is not coming to me.
So am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible. Thank you.
Yes. So basically, I prepared for current affairs thoroughly. And especially RBI website is like the Bible for interview. Okay. A lot of questions were asked from there also, like RBI notifications I read thoroughly. RBI reports, annual report was very important because a lot of current affairs were like mentioned in that report itself. So I read that thoroughly. And then a governor's speech also I read. Then there was this CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency, a speech on that. So I read that thoroughly. So RBI website, you have to read thoroughly. Anything can be asked from there. So that was one thing. And then I went through past year's interview transcripts, actually. So that is the first thing I did actually before starting off with the interview preparation.
Right.
So the kind of questions asked and all. So I got an idea from there.
Understood. So current affairs, then RBI website, then graduation subjects, and the previous year transcript, so that you can have a scope of what can be asked.
Exactly.
Understood. So the interview was cordial, right? It was not a grilling interview or a stressful interview.
No grilling at all. Very sweet panel. I mean, everyone was nice. Yeah.
Great. Okay, Shiva. Now coming to the phase 2 part of the examination. Let's start with, either finance and management or ESI. You can pick one. Let's start with, let's say, finance and management. So coming from a BCom honors background and pursuing MCom. So obviously finance was not something that was entirely new. You were, you had a comfort with the subject when it comes to terminology. Okay, bonds, time value of money, and derivatives, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Basically, for finance and management was the first paper actually on that day, mains exam. So MCQs were okay, manageable. I attempted many MCQs, and a descriptive part also, like very basic question were asked, like what are the key announcements of budget, or the finance commission question was also there. So that's what the thing. And corporate governance question was there. I was able to attempt that. A lot of current affairs, like from current affairs, you have to pick that examples to support that answer. So FM was fairly doable, I believe. So after that, there was break. After that, ESI exam happened. That was like really surprising paper, honestly speaking. MCQs were also very tricky, and questions of descriptive part were also very tricky. It was not straightforward questions, according to me. So, but the positive thing about descriptive paper is that you can think and you can try to recall whatever you have studied over past many months in the current affairs thing, and you can easily attempt those questions. You have to know how to write, how to incorporate whatever you have studied, and just try to answer them directly in support of those current affairs that you have studied. That was the trick that you have to do. So we have to first think like what to write, how to write, and no beating around the bush. You have to address the question. It's not like, okay, poverty is given, so I'll just write about poverty, anything, whatever I know. No, what they are asking, like if they are asking what are the reasons or what is the scenario, then you have to quote like some UN report. I quoted, I remember in some question. So current affairs will help you in these descriptive answers that give authenticity to your answers as well. And examiners know that, yes, a thorough study has been done. So that's how you have to attempt. Like this is the usual. If suppose define something, what are the causes? What are the like solutions to these problems? Then you can break up your answer. What is this? Then point-wise you go problems, and then point-wise you go solutions. And then as a conclusion, you can write a positive note. Like, yes, problems persist, but these are some measures that can be taken to address particular question or such a problem. So that was ESI. And then English descriptive, that paper. Basically 90 minutes it was. So I divided my time. Okay, 20 minutes for Pressy, and then 30 minutes for comprehension, and then 40 minutes for essay.
Okay.
So I thoroughly quickly I looked all three things: essay, comprehension, and Pressy. Pressy was the easiest always. So Pressy you attempt first. I wrote rough notes in the rough paper, what all I'll include in my Pressy, and then I'll attempt it fairly on the screen itself.
Right.
That was the Pressy thing. Then comprehension, I think it is not very easy just because a passage is given and then just you write. No, that's not comprehension. You have to first thoroughly understand what is the comprehension all about.
Right.
That's how you comprehend that passage. That's what it's all about. And then comprehension, and then how you put it in your words is more important. So basically I read it 3 times, that passage. First time, I did not get a very good idea what the passage was all about. Second time, I got okay. Third time, then okay, I'm fine. I can do it now. So I attempted the questions in my own words, very strictly. No copying at all. Essay, very important. I mean, all 3 are important. Essay, 40 minutes I devoted. So there was this essay topic on coding, pros and cons of coding, introducing coding in school. That was I chose that topic. So I attempted like, what is coding? Why is it in news? Because I think new education policy talks about that. So I mentioned a lot of things with respect to that. Current affairs, you have to supplement in essays, because there is a reason why these have been asked.
Yeah, so the context generally lies in the current part.
Yes, exactly. First you write what is the essay asking, like pros and cons. First, introduction, coding and all. Second, all about problems, the benefits, pros. Then second, cons. Then on a concluding note, you can talk positively, obviously. These are some concerns, but if addressed like this way, then I think coding can be a very beneficial thing for children. So that's something I wrote like that. I don't remember exactly.
Right.
I quoted many reports, new education policy, and this UN report was also there with respect to that. So I quoted that as well. So that's how I attempted the paper.
Okay. And what was your study material for all these examinations, like FM, ESI, and then English?
So for finance and management, my graduation books were there. So EduTap summary sheets, I also referred, not to forget that. And then there was this LM Prasad book on management. I read that. So these are finance and management material. For ESI, I read, actually I'm from ICSE school. So class 11 and 12 of economics books.
The basics, GDP and all, everything.
Yeah, very, very important and very nice books, that ICSE books I had. So 11, 12, I read thoroughly. Then mostly
in general,
economics.
I have seen ICSE books are better written than CBSE books.
I don't know
why, but they are really good, because when I was preparing for civil services, for science, I used to read ICSE book, biology book and everything. It was too good. Too good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I also did the same. I read ICSE books only. So for interview also, like they can ask accounts and all questions. So I was reading my class 11 book of ICSE. So I read that. For economics, it's a very good book. So I would recommend that if you want to know the basics thoroughly, please refer to ISC Frank Economics, that is class 11 and 12. According to me, these are the best for clearing concepts. After that, I did read EduTap summary sheets and current affairs based monthly magazines there was. So for this also, Affairs Cloud and EduTap for these two. And most importantly for ESI, now that it has become descriptive, newspaper had helped a lot, I would say. Editorials from Indian Express, Live Mint, they were very helpful for answers. So that I would say.
Thank you. And what about English? Did you practice it beforehand, or any specific material that you refer to for English in general, or no?
I did not refer to any material, but I know if anyone wants to know if there is any material, I would say please read Wren and Martin, for grammar and all, just for grammar. And then newspaper reading is a must for English.
If you read newspaper properly, you get reading comprehension also, you get Pressy also, you get essay also.
So essay also. Yes, sir, definitely. Yes, sir. So I think that helps. Newspaper reading helps a lot. Read it every day. And once a week, you can practice comprehension. A lot of sites and a lot of apps are available for that. As well as, there are columns in newspapers. You can start writing Pressy out of it. It is very actually beneficial. So that way I used to practice. And before appearing for exam, I had already practiced 6-7 probable essay topics. So I did that for English.
Ashray, I missed one part. I missed the psychometric test. So that was also something that was new this time. So again, we got certain questions from the students that, okay, these 5 options that, okay, strongly agree, strongly disagree. So these were the kind of range in which the answers had to be marked. And the time was very less. I think 15 minutes.
Yes. 15 minutes. Yeah.
15 minutes was the time. So was it challenging, or was there any specific preparation needed for that psychometric test?
So I never gave any psychometric test in my life. That was the first one. Okay. And I first asked some people, they had already appeared. So they said there is nothing complex, very easy questions like do you like to meet new friends, or how can you do multitasking? Very basic questions were asked. Sir, I don't think I have chosen strongly agree or strongly disagree to any question. It is like agree or disagree or neutral. Among these 3 options only I chose, and it is very easy. Like 15 minutes is more than enough for these type of questions. Very basic questions.
So there's nothing to be fearful of in that test.
No, nothing.
Okay. Now coming to the phase 1 part here. We all know there are 4 sections. There is Quant, Reasoning, English, and GA. This year, the paper was obviously on the tougher side, I would say. The cutoff also went down accordingly. So was there any specific strategy for different subjects, or did you practice mock tests in total? What was the entire plan for phase 1?
So I think you need to know your strengths and weaknesses for this. Supposing my strength is, general awareness and English. So for general awareness or current affairs, I did Affairs Cloud very thoroughly. Daily, they used to update on daily basis. Weekly basis also comes and monthly basis. You can choose according to yourself. I preferred daily basis, and for monthly basis, I kept for revision. So general awareness, I actually revised multiple times.
How many months of GA?
I think I did 4 months for prelims.
4 months for prelims.
And for phase 2, I did 6-7 months for mains. Yeah.
Understood.
So this is current affairs. For English, I used to give mocks on practice mock app. So that was very helpful. And for quant and reasoning, actually, I did YouTube videos. A lot of YouTube videos, explainer videos and all. And then Sarvesh Verma CAT, Quantum CAT was there. I did that. And also there was one Banker's Adda book. So I did that. So practice is the key for quant and LR. And I used to give a lot of mocks. So that's the phase 1 thing.
Right. So identify your strengths and weaknesses and prepare accordingly. Like for you, it was GA and English that you were comfortable with. Quant and reasoning, you had to watch videos, but for reasoning and for English and GA, you were pretty comfortable. And mocks must have helped in that.
Yes, a lot, right.
Okay. Now, Shreya, coming to some general questions like, is notes taking necessary? Is notes making necessary? Because again, whenever we read any original source like L.M. Prasad, let's take that as an example. So obviously there are a lot of pages, huh?
Yeah.
So I cannot. It becomes really difficult that 2 days before the examination, 4 days before the examination, you are revising the book. It is not advisable, I think, huh? So do you have the practice of habit of making notes for current affairs for static part, or did you underline in the original source? What was your strategy?
So for note taking, I would say for prelims, I did not take any notes, even for current affairs. That Affairs Cloud thing was sufficient. I read it many times. Highlighting, I did not highlight much. I did everything. हाँ मतलब इतनी बार किया तो याद ही हो गया था. Exactly. So for current affairs, I just did Affairs Cloud. For mains, I would say I did take notes. Definitely. Even for FM also, even though they were my subjects, I did take notes. L.M. Prasad, yes, I read it once, but then later on, selective reading only. I strictly, stuck with the syllabus. Like, okay, this topic is mentioned. I will make very crisp notes on that. Management part. And FM also, finance, some very complex is there, like what is the relationship between bond yield and bond price, by what steps RBI takes to address these certain issues, or how to control inflation. Everything on these tricky questions, I made thorough notes. Each and every, like in newspaper, I used to read, RBI is doing something, why did it do? How to address the problem? Like all these things, I used to make a lot of notes. Because I knew in these things will help in interview as well. You have to be very thorough. Why RBI has taken such decision? How do you control inflation? All these things. Why is bond market very important? Why does RBI intervene so much? So, you have to be curious. Why? Why does this happen? Am I able to answer? No. So I will write it down. I used to Google a lot. So this was my note-making thing. And PIB, I used to read a lot every day. Every day for 4 months, I read. And in case something major event or major scheme has come up, or something very important, okay, what steps has Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment taken? So you have to, there are many, a lot of news was given. So I just noted down digital notes and handwritten notes. These were the mix. An interview, I made a lot of notes. For that as well, I made a lot of notes.
Okay. So one general question again. See, someone who is, let's say, aiming for the next year's examination. Now, the next notification can be out within the next 6 months. Let's say it comes out in March. Let's take an example. So is this time sufficient? October, November, December, January, February, March. Is 6 months of time sufficient for someone who is preparing for the first time? That is my question number 1. And if yes, if the question number 1, the answer to that is yes, then what should be the order in which one needs to prepare? Should it be phase 1 first, or phase 2 first, or ESI first, or quant first? What should be the order?
No, it is not impossible. Definitely anyone can prepare in 6 months. There are many people I know who have studied for 6 months, but with discipline and consistency. That is the key to crack any exam, even in 6 months. I have come across such people. So for that, you have to first read the syllabus thoroughly. Okay, what is the syllabus? Then previous year's questions you have to see. Okay, what kind of questions are being asked? Suppose phase 1, if I talk about. So when I did that, I thought November, December might be the exam. I don't have much time. So I concentrated on quant and LR. Like every day, 2 hours, I used to practice because that is my weakest point. Current affairs and English was okay. I was okay with that. Not thorough practice was required. And then I think EduTap summary sheets are actually very sufficient for reading finance or even management. I referred EduTap summary sheets. So you can read that every day, like 4-6 hours, you can read mains part. Other part, and then you can read current affairs cloud daily that comes. Half an hour you give to that. For phase 1 also, I used to give a lot of Telegram quizzes. So that was a very good way to, revise also.
Right.
So basically, it is not just about reading this exam. There are 3 things: read, revise, recollect.
Right.
You are reading, very good. Revise, that is more important.
Read, revise, and recollect.
Yes, sir. So suppose you are reading, okay, one new thing I've read. Revising means old thing you are reading again and again. That is more, it can be monotonous, it can be tedious, but that is very important. So I used to
you
revise.
remove the source, you do not see the source and then you try to recollect. Recollect.
I just read and all, revise. Then suppose I'm thinking or I'm just writing any answer. Let me see how much I can recollect. No, I'm not able to recollect. I have to read it again, revise again. So these 3 things helped me in this exam. I used to do these 3 things thoroughly. Like recollect, most important. Revise also most important. Reading though, it happens all the time.
I would be making a graphic after this session. I'll be telling my designer to make a graphic of these 3 years with your photo.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely, and we'll be putting that on Telegram. You can see in the next half an hour. It is really good point. It just touched me. Read, revise, and recollect. Because generally we are always reading, not revising. Recollection तो होती नहीं है. Reading. फिर हम कहते हैं हमारा exam नहीं हुआ.
Exactly. I think any exam, be it UPSC, RBI, SEBI, NABARD, these 3 things will get you through.
Right.
It is no extraordinary thing. Like only these people only can clear this exam. I cannot clear this exam. Any person from any background whatsoever can clear these exams. I have seen. So this year you must have seen a lot of people with varied backgrounds. 5-6 years UPSC, engineering, or even any kind of masters, or who is working in PSUs, PSBs. Everyone has cleared this exam. So it's not about from which background you come from, how much you know. It's the kind of hard work, dedication, consistency, you show in your preparation that will get you through. So read, revise, recollect is that mantra for any exam, basically.
Right. Thank you for that elaborate answer. Shreya, my questions are done. Anything in general you want to tell the future aspirants, that anything that you've learned through this journey, anything you want to share with aspirants? Anything?
It was full of challenges.
Share your voice has again not audible.
Sorry. So it was full of challenges, this preparation. First of all, delayed notification. You don't know when will the notification come. And then that notification came, changed syllabus, changed pattern. There's that. So a lot of stress, creeps in. Like now, how am I going to manage? Then, of course, after 1 month was prelims, right? After the notification, 1 month was prelims. You don't know whether to, prepare for the change syllabus, change pattern, or should you now prepare for prelims? That was the challenge. So I did 10 days preparation for new syllabus and all. After that, only prelims, because prelims is the first hurdle you have to, overcome. So that was the thing. Then, so basically it was full of surprises and it was very challenging for every person. But then it's all about taking it up. Like I read a concept, change management in management subject. How do you manage such change? And when I realized, okay, this change has happened now. It's not just for me, it's for every aspirant. So it depends on how can you handle this stress. So that was also the kind of test that was being taken of every aspirant. Like, how do you handle such stress, or how do you work under pressure? So I was like, this is not just for me, it is for every aspirant. Smart work will help me here. So, and obviously put in hours and hours and hours of study till exams are done. And then you will, and I don't know, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process. So yeah, it's okay.
That is so good.
So I would just say there are many people I would like to, talk to, like many people who could not get through interview. So I would just say, please do not be disheartened. Even getting past this interview, reaching this interview is a very big success. And you have taken a lot of experience, lot of learnings. That shows you know your things. You have studied a lot. Again, you never give up. Like again try with the same kind of zeal, same kind of enthusiasm, and definitely you will get through next time. And for beginners, not be afraid, just be very sincere with your preparation. That I would say on a concluding note.
Very, very well said, Shreya. Because we also on our partner, on one side, we are taking the interviews of people like you have cleared. On the other side, I'm personally talking to students who have not cleared. So that is equally important. It's very, very important, because reaching the interview stage and then not finding your roll number in the list, it's disheartening, very, very disheartening.
Very disheartening. That's why I say, please do not be disheartened. Even I have talked to some people. So I understand, but I think everyone can do it. Again, never give up.
Right. Thank you so much, Shreya, for taking time out today. I'm very sure that this session will be helping a lot of aspirants, and wishing you a very good career in RBI and all the success in life. Thank you so much.
My sincere thanks to the EduTap team. It had played a very big role in my preparation, EduTap summary sheets and in mock interviews, and even mocks I gave for phase 1. So that were very helpful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. All the very best, Shreya. Bye.
Thank you.